Okay guys, here's another beat for you. You'll find this one on early mid 1970s stuff here and there. Like you'll find it on Dreadlocks Dread, Big Youth. You'll find a variation on it in Dr. Alamantado's Best Dressed Chicken in Town. And it's like a one drop with a disco open hat. You know, tss, 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 like that. This is the beat. And it works in the BPM late 80s, early 90s. This is 88 beats a minute. Works at 90, you know, even 92, 94 if you want to go a bit faster with it, but you're getting a little bit quick then maybe. Okay, but it's like this, it's a one drop, but with this kind of disco open hi-hat. Let's check this out. And it goes very well with a traditional bass line we haven't looked at yet, which is like a fast fingered bass line. I'll show you that what I mean in a sec. So let's get the beat together. Put an empty 1 bar region on the drum track, and we're going to start with the hats. The brush tool, quantize set to 16ths, and we're going to brush in a row of closed hats. Oop. Like that. Shorten those, as I keep saying, that just gives me a nice visual gap between them, doesn't make them play back shorter. Bring their velocity up to about 100. And then with velocity tool, hold down shift and select every other hat. And lower those down, but not way down this time. These are going to come down to sort of 30, something like that. Right? Now, then, holding down shift, we select the 4th hat in each quarter beat. And these we do low right down to like 3 or something. Really low. So we hardly hear them. We just hear ta-ta-tat, ta-ta-tat, yeah, and we don't really hear that 4th hat. Okay. Now, when in one of the previous beats we did, the Stalag, I showed you this this hi-hat foot splash. It's like a second open hat. You've got the main open hat there. You've got this open hi-hat foot splash open hat, which is kind of thinner. So we're going to take every 3rd hat in each quarter beat, hold down shift, select every 3rd hat in each quarter beat, which is like in house, that's your tss, 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 hat, right? And bring those down to the open splash like that, and then we get that disco like that. Okay, and then the kick and the snare is like a one drop. Okay, drop on the 2, drop on the 4 with a center snare like that. So it's like a fast one drop with a disco 3rd hat there, like that. But what you got is you got this loud snare a 16th before the drop on the 2. And then make the drop on the 4 a loud snare. So that loud snare is a 16th drop in front of the main drop here on the 2. So we go with a softer snare actually on the drop and the loud snare before it, badum, and then on the 2nd drop on the 4 the loud snare. Okay, I don't know if I said it already, I've changed the kit slightly, I'll show you that in a second. And then we finish it off with a low tom. This is a beat on Dreadlocks Dread, but this rising tss, tss hat, you'll find that on, as I said, Best Dressed Chicken in Town and other stuff, right? We put a low tom on the first beat of the bar. A really nice, loud, booming low tom, like that. Yeah, it's got the lovely like that. Okay. Now I've changed the kit slightly. Let's look at that. Open the stack. Inside the stack, first channel has the kit on it, and all I've done is I've changed to the plexi toms, 70s plexi toms, so I can get a really nice, really solid tom. Okay, gained it up, no dampening, and I've changed the snare to this bell brass, dampened a lot, almost fully dampened, and just gained up a smidge, right? That's it. Otherwise the kit's the same as the other videos. So there's your beat. Come on, there's the beat. Okay, now this beat works really well with a bass line we haven't looked at yet, which is this kind of fast fingered bass technique. Put an empty bar on the bass. There's the bass track. Here's its channel. Okay, we'll EQ the bass afterwards because you want a really deep bass for this. Now I'm going to work an octave higher to start with so we can hear the pitch easily. If we start in G like this, you come in with an opening note. It's just less velocity for that. You come in with an opening note on the first beat of the bar, and then on the second eighth, the traditional way to do this type of bass line is you come up a fifth, and then starting on the second eighth, just put in a row of 16ths like that, a fifth up from this opening note, and then on the drop on the 4, a long note to end. And you get that boom, do 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 do. I'll just lower the drums a bit. And the whole point of this is that with this bass line, the traditional vibe with this is that you start with this root note. The main fast fingered do 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 do, which we'll do variations on in a minute, right? You just start with that as your basis, is a fifth up, and then this bottom note moves up, down, whatever, harmonising with that top row note. So that top row note stays playing the same, and then the root note moves around harmonising with it. So at the moment it's this is a fifth above this root note. If I move this up to an A, this row is then a major third above that root note, etc. And the guitar and the rhythm instruments, guitar and keyboard, follow this root note around, but this stays the same, always harmonising with whatever the root note is doing. Okay? That's the traditional way. You don't have to, you can go off that and change these to something else and not do that. But you put in this row of notes ending on a long note on the drop on the 4, starting on the second eighth. And then you just knock notes out to make variations. Okay? Now the push is in the middle of each quarter beat. So if I take that note out there, there's a cluster of 3 beginning on the push in the middle of this quarter beat here, the first quarter beat. Then the next cluster of 3, take that note out, the next cluster of 3 begins on the push in the middle of that quarter beat. And then the last little thing, these 2 and the long one, begin on the push in the middle of that quarter beat there. And that's basically the kind of feel of the push. But you can vary that. So I could have like, let's bring that bass up a bit. I could have that. I could take that note out and have a double 8th at the end. You know, do do onto the drop note, the longer note. Do do, pair of 8ths. Yeah, I could take that note out and put that note back in. I could put that back in. Yeah, and take that one out and then put an extra one in there or something. You see what I mean? There's all those variations you can do. Okay. Now, yeah, that's the traditional thing is just keep this constant with this constant fingering and move this root note around, always harmonising with the top fingered fast thing here that just stays constant, and then the guitar works with the bass root note that's harmonising with that upper row of notes. So that's G with the do 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 there in the D a fifth above. Then this would move up to an A, and the guitar moves up with it. And now this is this row of notes is harmonising a major third above, and then back down. And this is harmonising a fifth above, and then up to there. And this is harmonising a major third above, like that. Okay, etc. But you know, you can. We could change this. It could be. Like something like that, you could do, you know, whatever. You can move obviously the pitch of these around. And the last note can be a single big note on the drop there, or it can be a double eighth push off that last drop. Like that or something, right? I'll put it back to the trad thing of just staying on that note, and we'll do a little lift up at the end there. And I'll change this to a different variation, like this, like that one. A bit longer. Okay, like that. Now let's bring the whole thing down an octave. Okay, now let's copy the whole thing across. And then for the bass, I'm going to do a variation. Okay, there's the bass. So the first bass, we'll just have the single note. A little bit longer with that. Then we come up here and up a tone to the A, and the D just continues harmonising with that A. Okay, now let's put in the guitar. I say this with each video just in case someone's dropping into this from YouTube. We're going through a whole load of beats here. This is part of a playlist of videos. We're just going through a whole load of different reggae beats and bass now, and for each one that we do, each beat that we do, we're just putting in a simple rhythm guitar. Okay, and then when we've gone through a whole bunch of beats, we'll look at other things like rhythm keyboards, etc. Alright, so we'll get in the guitar. Empty region on the guitar track, and as I said, the whole point of this is the guitar works with this opening note. This fast pick thing traditionally is always harmonising with whatever the opening note is, so the guitar works with this opening note. You think, well look, here's the main part of the bass across here doing this D all the time, so the chord must be a D, but it's not. It's the opening note there, the G. This is harmonising with the G a fifth above. If I go up to the A, that's harmonising with the A of major third above. So the chord would follow this note, and then the guitar would move up to A, and then back to G. This just harmonises with the root note. Okay, so we're starting with a G. Even though the is in D, the guitar works with that opening note, the G, right? So chaps are in the middle of each quarter beat. Come on, move over. So G, G major, like that. Copy that into the middle of all the other quarter beats in this region, in this 1 bar region. Copy it over into the middle of that quarter beat, that one, and that one. Then we'll highlight the lot, bring up the velocity about 105, a bit stronger, and make them really tight and chappy like that. Like that. Then copy this over, and in the next bar the bass moves up to the A, so the guitar follows that note, and the D do 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 just harmonises with this note and the guitar chord on the A. So in this next bar we move the guitar up to an A. We'll make it an A minor, but it won't sound minor and dark. Okay, because you've got that major third do 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 D above it on the bass. And that's it, basically. Yeah, that's the whole guitar. It's just it's like this disco 1-drop thing. Right, now let's bring the bass down a bit. Now we've lowered its octave, and then the bass, we're really going to warm it up. Right, look at the bass, there's its track, here's its channel. Open the EQ, and with this high cut just drop all the tops and mids out right down like that, and then give it a boost around 50 Hertz, 40 to 50 Hertz. You know, really deep on the bass like that. And if it sounds a bit like it's wobbling or distorting something, just check the compressor isn't got a too short release or something, or it's overloading or something, you know. And there it is. Like I say, like a disc, it's like a disco 1-drop, right? And it really works with that do 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 bass, which is a traditional thing. I've explained it. The harmonising of the bottom note, the fast-fingered pick thing that's do 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 working away there, stays constant all the time, and the bottom note, just the root note, moves around harmonising with that, and the guitar chords move with the bottom harmonising note. Okay. But you can go off that. You don't have to stay with that script. Yeah, you can change this to do 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 do, or whatever you like, and make the guitar chords fit. You know, all right. But you just start with that row of 16ths, beginning on the 2nd eighth, long note on the end. That can be a double eighth, and then you just knock notes out and make variations. Okay, let's do a little fill at the end. I'll put a fill in for each of these, so copy this over. Be a bit of a tough one to do a fill for this. Let's do, what should we do? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll come off two. We'll have 2 open hi-hats with a couple of kick pushes like that. So pss, pss. And then into a little roll there. These can all come out. Those can come out. Right, so we're doing this tss, tss. And then try and double kick there. Yeah, like that, and then onto a hard snare with a crash. That'll do. Something simple. On the drop there with a crash. This could be a single kick, I don't know. But it's about this pss, pss, you know, double hi-hat with a stamp on the pedal, on the kick, you know. Pss, pss. Or that could come off onto a... you know, something like that or whatever. I'll leave it on that kick down there. Okay, and there's a little fill to finish it off, and there's the whole thing. I'd say it's like this. It's a one drop disco thing with this offbeat snare, yeah, before the drop on the 2, and that loud tom on the first beat to give it that boom da do, yeah, ba-da, boom ba-da, boom ba-da, boom ba-da, like that. Okay, and there you go. Plus, you've also seen this whole thing with this bass line technique. You know, this bass line thing is quite common in reggae. It's a traditional bass technique, and I've explained that to you with the harmonising note moving around, and this stays constant. Yeah, but you can go off that sketch if you want and vary this with different notes. Okay, there you go. I don't know what it's called. Disco one drop, right? I'll see you for the next beat.